Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode number 83 of NasCard Radio, where trading cards and racing meet. I'm your pal Val. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, PSA Hall of Famer, King NASCAR Logan. How are you?
I am feeling prismatic tonight.
Excellent, excellent. And then Jason's going to try to join us, but we will see. So we'll continue on without him. We'll see if he can join. We got a great show for everybody today. We're going to recap the Clash in LA, the race, NASCAR news. We're going to talk Jeff Gordon, top 10 cards. We're going to cover subject of grading. If you ever thought about grading your cards, some tips, tricks, and a couple of options. And then we'll finish up with some eBay auctions of interest. Oh, and then also did the Beckett Live with Eric Norton, which was a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked that out, you might want to check that out. It was, I think it was a really good show. So a lot of
Yep,
information.
and you'll get to see all of our smiling faces.
Yeah. Well, we should be going to video here in the next few weeks. So I guess this is just a preview. Prepare everybody what we look like. So well, let's get into it. Oh yeah, I want to thank our sponsor, Panini America, and then our Olympic sponsors, Sandy's Bay Billiards Club and Mama's Coffee House.
Oh, I love Mama's Coffee House.
Mm-hmm. Good place to watch the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And again, while you're listening to the show, if you will hit the like button or share the episode, we appreciate it. Help others find the show. And again, thank you everybody for spending time with us this week. We appreciate it. We kind of have, I guess, no races this week, but last week we had the 2022 Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. Oh, before we do that, though, let's get into our. Oh, no, we're doing a recap, right? Then the news. I can't even read my notes.
Edit.
Yeah. So the 2022 Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, that was Sunday, February 6th at Los Angeles Coliseum. That's interesting to see, see that in Los Angeles, California. That was 150 laps. Joey Logano outlasted to win that. He led 35 laps. That was kind of interesting. Quarter mile. Really couldn't get up to that fast without having to brake. So I think it was a lot of heated tempers. I think in the little fishbowl there.
Yeah, it was. I think this was the first time in like 50 years that NASCAR has run on a quarter mile track. So, of course, it's going to have low speeds and everything, but to me, it was a great race. I enjoyed it. And I'm sure new viewers to NASCAR enjoyed it as well. It was really fun.
It had a different kind of feel to it where they stopped the race for a little mid concert there, and watching the beginning and the introductions and stuff, pre-concert with Pitbull, the halftime, I guess, concert with I guess with LL Cool J, or no, it was Ice Cube. I'm sorry. So it was definitely different than the normal race, and of course, it's a non-points race, so it's all the pride, and I guess it was like $2 million for Joey.
Yeah, it was. I've heard a lot of people talk about. They said it was entertaining. I said, well, that's what it was meant to be. Was entertaining. And if you were entertained, then it was a success.
Right, and NASCAR's been changing stuff up, and we've talked about it before on the shows the last couple of years. So kudos for them for trying something new to see. And I would imagine, I think they had the option to do this for another few years if they wanted to pick up that option. So
Yeah, they've got 90 days, from what I understand, to do that. So I guess we'll find out soon.
yeah, so Joey Logano, our winner, and we've talked about Joey Logano's cards before. He's in 2008. He he's one of these drivers where he had lots of autographs before he had any base cards. So really 2008 is all signings from Press Pass, and then also he was in Press Pass Legends. He had the 4 printing plates, and then there was a blue version numbered to 125, and then the blue inscription which this is epic now, right? So this is 2008. It's been a while. Sliced bread, serial number to 10. That's epic.
Yeah, that's the nickname that Mark Martin gave him back when he was still running in Xfinity Series. And even Mark Martin said back then that even when he was younger and coming up, that Joey Logano had enough talent to where he could probably beat half the field in Cup. That's how strongly Mark Martin felt about him.
It's interesting, you say that, but at Joe Gibbs, I don't think he had the success that everybody was expecting, right? And so he ended up leaving Gibbs and going to Penske, and then had a lot of success. So sometimes you have to find kind of the right mix blend or whatever, maybe mature or whatever it was, but he's definitely hitting on all cylinders now at Penske.
Yeah, they brought Joey Logano in to Cup when Tony Stewart moved over to Stewart, to form Stewart Haas. And I think they might have brought him up just a little bit too early. But he did win his first race. It was a road it was a rain delay or a rain shortened race that he won. I think it was in New Hampshire.
Okay. Then finishing up real quick, the 2008 Wheels American Thunder. And there's the insert campaign trail and delegates. That's another insert. So he's got two inserts there. And then he's the trackside treasuries. Those are the ones that look like money. And there's a few versions that you have the unnumbered, numbered to 25, and the printing plates. And then one thing of interest is the 2008 Press Pass VIP. They put a number 0 in, and that's Joey Logano, and that's serial number to 499. I did get one of those signed. I thought that'd be pretty nice. So I guess there's 498.
Yeah. I've got one that I'm going to send to PSA one of these days when the submission rates get lower.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good play, that card there. So, and then in 2009, he's everywhere. So lots and lots of rookie cards or base cards with his rookie logo on it. So
yeah, he was in Press Pass, and then he was in the second series of Press Pass that year and had cards in both. So he like Val said, he was all over the place.
Again, he was sliced bread, so they were definitely putting them everywhere. But so that's Joey Logano. Like I said, no races this coming week, but in 2 weeks it's going down at Daytona. So we'll recap those upcoming races next week to prepare everybody. So this week, everybody just enjoy the Super Bowl, and then we'll come back next week and we will get ready for Daytona.
Yeah, a couple quick notes on the Busch Light Clash. They had 5 lead changes among 3 drivers and only 6 cautions on that small of a track with, it was kind of heated. I was really surprised that there weren't any more cautions than there were, especially in those 150 laps. Although they were doing a lap about the same time they do a lap at Bristol, but Bristol's twice the distance. So they were doing laps in 14 and some change. And I guess there were some sub 14 laps as well. But the average speed of that race was only 39.029 miles per hour. So it's not like they were setting the world on fire.
Yeah, but really only that many cautions. I was impressed with that because, like I said, there's a lot of cars out there and there's a beating and banging.
Yeah, so they had the next gen cars, and they've got composite bodies and everything. So those things were taking a beating, and it's not like your regular sheet metal that we're used to. We didn't have sheet metal coming in there and folding up and under the tires and causing tire rubs and tires to go flat and things like that. They would hit each other and the composite body would just snap back. So I think that in itself really helped, limit the cautions in this race.
Yeah, I can't wait to Daytona with these cars. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's and I don't know if y'all noticed during the race, but the cars have a little bit different sound to them as well. It doesn't have quite that deep throat, sound that we're used to. They're a little bit different, higher pitch, different sounding cars. So it's going to be interesting to see how they sound like in Daytona.
this is awesome. We got Daytona coming up here. Then we'll have IndyCar and F1. So it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong. So
Yep, can't wait.
anything else for any facts, figures? What about so it seemed like it was very well received, and I think the numbers are out for TV that you had.
Yeah, the ratings for TV, it averaged a 2.3 rating. So I don't know what 2.3 means. I don't know if that's 2.3 cats or 2.3 shrimp or whatever. But
I think
anyway,
that's 2.3 million.
no, it's 2.3 rating. No, with 4.28 million viewers.
Oh,
So
okay.
see,
Well then,
that's what I don't know. I don't know how they average this thing out and average with people watching each TV, and who knows. But yeah, it was. They said it was the highest rating and viewership for this event since 2016. So kudos to NASCAR. I think they got what they were looking for. I think it was well received, and me happy about it. I like it.
yeah, that's why I think they're gonna re-sign up for a few more years. So,
Yep.
anything else in NASCAR news?
Well, if we want to move over to news, I do have a few things in the news. This year, there's going to be 11 drivers competing for the 2022 Sunoco Rookie of the Year across all of NASCAR's 3 national series. In the Cup Series, we're going to have Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton, and Todd Gilliland. And in Xfinity, we're going to have Sheldon Creed. We like Sheldon Creed, Austin Hill, and somebody I'm not familiar with, Jesse Iwuji, I believe is how you pronounce his name. It's spelled Iwuji. So I'm not familiar with him, but I'm looking forward to see what he can do.
So he's, I think, the serviceman, and I think Emmett Smith or somebody is help sponsor his team, and so I've heard him and I've seen a few specials on him. So that's awesome that he's gonna be running Xfinity.
Cool. I'm definitely going to do some.
We'll know
more
more about
homework.
him during the season. So
No doubt. And in trucks, we're going to have Jack Wood, Dean Thompson, Lawless Allen. Now, hold on just 1 second. I love that name, Lawless Allen. He's got to have some cards. All right, Panini, make some cards of this guy because I love that name.
he's got a NASCAR name,
He does, man.
old school NASCAR name, right?
Yep, he needs to wear a black hat. Lawless Allen.
That would be good. I'm gonna have to talk to the Panini guys. He definitely needs a card. So
Oh my God, yeah.
we're gonna have fun this season with that.
Yeah. And the other two are going to be Corey Heim, who runs for Kyle Busch, and Blaine Perkins. So there are your 11 drivers competing for the Sunoco Rookie of the Year. It's going to be a good year. That's going to be cool.
And if you're not familiar with NasCardRadio, so when we recap the races, we'll recap the highest finishing driver and the highest finishing rookie. So that gives you an idea, week after week, kind of keep an eye out for who's moving and who's shaking. And that's how we kind of found Ty freaking Gibbs. So during the next season here, we'll be keep an eye on all those rookies. So for you.
Yeah, we'll have to see how these guys do as the season progresses. But in the trucks, my money's on Lawless Allen. I love this guy already.
Yeah.
Some other news, and this is more of on a personal note for Joey Logano. Joey and Brittany Logano, they had their little baby girl on Tuesday, February 8th, and it's their third child. And they named her Amelia. And when Joey tweeted that, I kind of answered back and I said, Joey, you can't spell Amelia without L.A. Kind of looking back at him, he went in the Busch Light Clash in L.A.
He'll always remember that around her birthday.
Yeah. So Joey Logano had a great week.
Yeah, he did.
So
he's a good guy.
Kudos and congratulations to Joey and Brittany.
Yeah, we've had dinner with him a few times.
I was just getting ready to say that. Yeah, we've had dinner with him a couple of times at the Hall of Fame, and he's always a nice guy. I'll tell a really quick story. I know we're going to get sidetracked again, but Val and I were sitting there one night. That night we were having dinner with them, and I had brought a bunch of 2009 Press Pass Joey Logano rookie cards, and of course we're eating dinner and everything. I'm not going to do anything while he's eating, And he got done. At least it looked like he got done. I said, Joey, are you done eating? He said, yeah. I said, all right, it's time to get to work. And I handed him a stack of 2009 press pass cards. And he signed them all.
He sure did. He didn't say a word. He just kind of dug in and started signing. So we had that. That was about I think it was the year he was engaged, and then the year after he was married. Because the second year he was telling the story of how he lost his wedding ring on his honeymoon. So I think he was kayaking or something like that. But anyway,
Yep.
we get sidetracked.
Yep. All right. I guess moving on.
Yep. So, but happy for the Logano. So Jeff Gordon, top 10 trading cards.
Yeah. This was, I don't know that it was necessarily tough, but it wasn't the easiest top 10 that we've worked on, because it's mainly because Jeff Gordon has come along since we've had, mainstream nationally produced trading cards. It's not like, Earnhardt or Petty where they've got STP or Uno or whatever. So this one was a little bit more challenging, as he's all his cards for the most part are pretty much mainstream cards.
Yeah, talking about Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt, like I said, going back a ways. So a few of those slots are filled up with some of those vintage, classic. But Jeff Gordon was kind of right there during the junk wax era, starting with 91 tracks. But, he had the cards before that, and we've talked about those on I think it's show 40. That's the 1987 and 1988 World Outlaws. But, looking through the list, and is also right there in the wheelhouse where Jeff Gordon was becoming very popular. And, of course, he was winning. So from, 94 to the late 90s, you had all these manufacturers. So there was a bunch of cards. So, and we'll go through the list. They have a lot of offerings.
Oh yeah, we've got our top 10, and then I think Val's got some honorable mentions, and I've got mine as well. But I'm going to go off on another little tangent again. Did you guys happen to see Jeff Gordon on the broadcast for the Busch Light Clash? I thought at first he might have had a facelift or something, but I think retirement is catching up with him. I think he may have gained a little bit of weight. He looked a little pudgy. He didn't look like the same old Jeff Gordon I was used to.
Yeah. I was saying my wife came in and she's like, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "That's Jeff Gordon." And I left it at that. So, but yeah, she's the long hair and the full face. So,
yep, looks like he's enjoying retirement. He's having a good time over at Hendrick Motorsports.
I'm sure they're keeping him quite busy. So,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
Lots to learn. But let's jump into it. Top 10, number 10, and this is number 10. So the other 9 got to be epic. So number 10, 2000 SP Authentic Sign of the Times, Jeff Gordon. This, if you remember, we talked about the Dale Earnhardt. This is that all white card from the 2000 SP Sign of the Times. A lot of white real estate to showcase that nice, beautiful signature.
Yeah, I love that card. I mean, we've talked about it before, but I'm way late into the ball game. I would love to try to collect that whole set of autographs, but it's going to get kind of pricey now. But that Jeff Gordon autograph, it's an iconic card. When you see that card, you fall in love with it because it's such a beautiful signature, and you don't really see a lot of those pop up on eBay either. So the people that have got them are keeping them, and they're not out there.
So it's a 2000 SP product, so it's not necessarily overprinted, I don't think. You hardly ever see wax boxes anymore, and you really don't see a lot of it. To your point, Sign of the Times, not even, all the other drivers, because Dick Trickle's in there, and he's one of the ones that I try to get. And then Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, and of course Jimmy Johnson. So there's a lot of great drivers. Bill Elliott, just like to your point, you just don't see them. So the best thing might be to save up a few thousand and then try to buy the whole set if somebody lists it. So you might get a better deal that way. But it's a lot of money, but they're beautiful. So I'm going to take number 9. The number 9, 1988 World of Outlaws, Jeff Gordon, number 54, but black ink on the back, not the red ink. If you listen to show 40, because I don't want to spoil it for you, but It was from I think it's Racing Collectibles article back in early 1990. They mentioned that the printer that printed these sheets and then cut them up and then they saved, I think it was, I don't know, a few 200 sheets or whatever. But somewhere in the print run, they ran out of red ink, didn't tell anybody, used black ink and finished the print run. And then
Go
the
for it. Don't
printer,
tell anybody.
yeah, and so the printer didn't even know about it. I mean, not the printer, the guy who, who commissioned that didn't even know about it. So until after the fact. But they are kind of tough. So I thought that would be one to kind of keep an eye out at a show. So
Yeah, I'm always looking for that. You just don't see it. Didn't you think there was only like maybe 100 or so of those, Val, or was it? Am I wrong on that? I don't remember.
so I can't, without going back and look, or I think there were 200 sheets that were saved, and so those are all blackback. So it happened before that. So it was somewhere in the run. But whenever I look on eBay, I've been seeing the redbacks. I when I purchased my first sets, I didn't know any better, but I got blackbacks, and then I think I've had them autographed or whatever. So I have to go look in my archive to see what I have, but they're tough. So
Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of the 1952 Topps baseball where they have the red back and the solid black back. Kind of similar to that.
oh yeah, okay. You want to take number 8, or I'll take 8?
I can do number 8. It's the 1994 Trax Premium Autograph Jeff Gordon A-4. That's a really iconic card, and Jeff did a good job signing those cards. So they're very, very desirable, very beautiful cards. Um, I picked one up at the Dallas show back in when we go May. Was it
Yeah, it
back
was
in
May.
May? And I got it for a reasonable price. I was happy with it, but they're kind of hard to find. But I mean, you can still get them on eBay, and I think for the most part they're reasonable. But I think during this all this craziness with COVID has made them go up in price. So it may be a little bit. You may have to pay a little bit more money for them, but they're out there.
So one thing to note about this is, he's signing it and he's DuPont and, Rainbow Warrior, if I remember right, as opposed to his first auto where he's not, he's,
Yeah, he's
Ford.
with the Carolina Ford dealers with the Busch series.
Right.
So yeah, it is different. So this would be one of his earlier Rainbow Warrior autograph cards, and it's got a picture of him with the card. It's kind of similar to the '92 Trax, which we'll talk about, but it's a beautiful card. I think I've got one graded. I don't remember, but it's a keeper. So if you find one and you haven't got one, I mean, I'd definitely pounce on it.
You want number 7?
Yeah, I'll do number 7. All right, that's the 2019 Donruss Fox Sports announcers, Jeff Gordon, and those sets were limited to a 200 set print run. So they are extremely difficult to find. It's got Jeff Gordon in his suit, with his mic, and it's got other people like Mike Joy and Larry McReynolds, and there's several. It's all the Fox announcers that and love, and it was given out at Trax via, I think, mostly Twitter. You would go out there and they would be tweeting stuff, and they would be doing live, going live and doing broadcasts, and you would have to hashtag a certain hashtag for whatever was going on that week, and then you could get in this drawing to win a set. And I know I tried every week to get one of those sets, and I had no luck whatsoever. But I do know somebody who did have some luck, and he is my best friend talking with me tonight. So I'm gonna let him talk about that.
Yes, I did a little research on this, and yeah, to your point, this is one of those side projects that Panini had done, created 200 of these sets to give to the Fox announcers, and I think they were dispersed, distributed however they wanted to. And to your point, I think they took some and they went to some of the different tracks or personalities. I know like Michael Waltrip had who was in the set, Jeff Gordon, on one of his shows, his podcast, and you could tweet in questions, and they were giving a few of those out for folks who they read the question on, and they said Michael said that Jeff would sign his card or whatever for them. So don't really know. They, with the 200 print run, you think that sounds like a lot, but I'm sure each one of the 12 got a handful, if not a few more, and they're probably in people's desks at Fox Sports. So they rarely. I don't think I've ever seen a one on the secondhand market. But yeah, I was lucky enough to get one from Charlotte Motor Speedway. They had a thing where I had tweeted them. So, and then I contacted Panini to find out more about it, and that's where I found out about the print run of 200. So,
Yeah,
I think actually it helped pave the way, open the door for Jeff Gordon to get signed by Panini. So that was kudos to Panini for that. So.
yeah, that was the point I was getting ready to make. That's a good call. You were reading my mind.
Yeah, that's what Tracy. We had, I think Tracy on the Hobby Hotline, and he kind of hinted that. I guess some of the internal divisions in Panini were like, how'd you do that? You're not supposed to, to do that. We're like, well, he was. It wasn't in a uniform. It was as a Fox announcer, and they got it through. So.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I have a saved eBay search for this very set, and it's like Val said, I have never seen one on the secondhand market. I think a lot of the people that got these that won them were probably not collectors, and it's like what you said, Val. They're probably sitting in somebody's desk somewhere, or they've either gone into the trash can, or God only knows where they are. But I think that's part of the reason why we're not seeing any of these cards pop up on eBay.
Yeah, with no pricing, if you have it, you don't know what to sell it for. So, it's not like, okay, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but like Richard Petty's 72 STPs, if they were going for 1,000, 2,000, it's like, oh, I think I got one of those. I'll put it out for sale, and there's more for sale. But without any of them to test the waters or to show other people like who have them, oh well, I can get this much for it or whatever, that they're just not coming out. So
Yeah, that's kind of scares me a little bit, but it makes them all that much scarcer.
yeah, so it's almost going to be what, 4 years. So they came out in 2019 around Donruss timeline, with Daytona in 2021 and 22. So wow, time flies.
Yeah, I will say this: if anybody out there's got one and is looking to sell, I'm your Huckleberry. So let me know.
So I'll take number six, 2021 Panini Prism Jeff Gordon Color Blast. And that's the super short print. So it's a pretty card, Color Blast. And like we talked about, Jeff Gordon being reintroduced and having a card, and then what better way to, have the short print Color Blast. So that's definitely one for the collection.
Yeah, and on that note, believe it or not, I'm just going to kind of skip real quick down to my eBay list. There was one of them that ended on the 9th of February, and it went for $204.50 with 17 bids. So just to kind of throw that in there.
That's not bad.
No, I think that's actually a very good price. I said it before. There's so many things out there on eBay that I miss that I look at it and go, crap, man, that was such a great deal. Why didn't I see that? But you can't see everything, and you can't buy everything.
This is true, right? There's a lot out there and a lot going on, and everybody's like, looking at one thing or whatever and have all these searches. But yeah, so I think Color Blast, I think that long term, that's going to be a great card for Jeff Gordon collectors.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, 1996 Press Pass M-Force. First year of relics, and this is metallic force sheet metal number M5. So this has got like almost a acrylic card, and it's got maybe a 2-inch by half-inch, or maybe it's an inch by half-inch piece of sheet metal encased. So one of the earlier relics, and again, sheet metal from the Rainbow Warrior.
Yeah, I would love to see how they made those cards, because they're clear and they have that, like I said, they have that sheet metal embedded in that card. And then, of course, they've got the printing and everything on top of that. So I bet the process of that, because you really didn't see anything like that ever again. I bet that process was expensive, but it is really cool. And you do see these things on eBay, and they're out there. So for us, like I said, that's a top 5 card for us.
Yeah, I love those M4s.
All right, I'll do number 4. Number 4 is the 1996 Press Pass Burning Rubber number BR2, Jeff Gordon's car. Now, as we all know, 1996 was the very first ever in any sport memorabilia cards. And this was the very first memorabilia card set, the Burning Rubber. So these cards are highly desirable. And some of these cards, like of Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, they can be very tough to find. And when you do find them, they're going to command a pretty good price. But it's a neat card. I love the way it looks. It's got an actual piece. And I don't know how they shaved these pieces. They have their own technology of doing this. They shave a piece off and put it on the card. It's just a beautiful card. It's got Jeff Gordon's car on it with a piece of the tire. So again, it's a highly collectible card.
A lot of competition for that.
Absolutely.
Number 3, the 1991 Trax number 1, Jeff Gordon. This is technically his first, if you go by Beckett, first mass-produced card available in packs and factory sets. Now, it's interesting is that he's card number 1, and I really haven't been able to find information, but it seems like he was an exclusive at the time because Max didn't touch him in 91, and this is really his only card in 91. And to be card number 1 to boot.
Yeah. Now, there's some things to talk about with this card. I mean, these boxes of 91 Trax are plentiful. You can find them out there. And again, with all the craziness of COVID, they've gone up in price, but they're still very reasonable to buy some boxes. But here's the thing. For whatever reason, and I don't know why, I don't know if it's the way the packs have settled over the years or whatever, you're going to find these Jeff Gordon cards, and the corners are going to be, it's almost like they were in they were wrapped in shrink wrap or something, and the corners are laid down just a little bit. You're going to see a lot of them like that for whatever reason. And not only that, it's a black border and it's very condition sensitive. So if you're wanting to get any of these cards graded, I can tell you firsthand, I have submitted a ton of these cards. I have a ton of 9s, and I never was able to get a 10. I had to buy the one that's the 10 that I got. So that should tell you something right there about these cards. They're nice looking cards, but condition is everything on these cards. And out of the pack, you'd think that they'd be, squared up nice, nice gloss, everything. They're not what you would think.
And it could be the wax box, because I think they just laid in there because it's like the shape of a car. They're not snug like a 4 up kind of making a layer. I think it was the 3. And again, the black borders. So I think I've sent a few in. I don't know how the wax boxes run. If I go out on YouTube, there was a box I opened. I think I pulled 4 or 5 Jeff Gordons out of one box.
Yeah, there's at least 3 to 4 every box.
And I think I got a few 8s and maybe 1 or 2 9s, I think, when I submitted those. But it's a fun rip, and I think you can find them for like $20 to $30. Again, and like I was saying about him being exclusive, because he was only running in the Busch / Xfinity series, so he wasn't even in Cup yet. He wouldn't hit Cup until a few more years. So, it's interesting that he's card number 1. And then, I don't know if we talked about it before, but stay away from the factory sets that are in the plastic where they're shrink wrapped like cello packs and then placed in the 4 holders. And it looks beautiful, but over time, those cello packs are been pushed down in there and they've made dents into the card. And Jeff Gordon is one of the ones facing the that's in the holder, so he's going to be dented if you get those clear factory sets.
Yeah, and those are glossy cards too. They're different than the standard uh, hobby issue that they issued. And you're right; those, if you take those things out, the ones that are up on the front and on the back are going to be dented. It's just the way they did it. It's kind of sad, but if you can find one without the dents, I think you're going to be doing good.
Yeah, the wax pack. So that's number 3 on our list.
All right, I'll do number 2, and I'll let you do number 1.
Okay.
All right, number 2, 1992 Tracks Autograph Series, Jeff Gordon, number A7. Jeff Gordon's very first autograph card. Again, it's got a picture of him in his Carolina Ford dealer's suit, and it's got his autograph. There's a big space on there for the autograph. It's kind of like a bluish gray background. It's a really, really nice card. And if you guys have listened to us before, you all know that the very first autograph card I ever pulled ever out of racing was this card. But at the time when I got it, I'm like, crap, who's this Jeff Gordon guy? I was hoping for, Petty and Earnhardt autograph. But, over time it's turned out to be okay. So I'm happy about it. But it is his first auto, and it's highly desirable. I think if you're a NASCAR card collector, this is a card you definitely have to have as part of your collection.
Oh yeah, it's the early autograph of him, and that picture of him with that mustache and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I know we're running late already, but the fact that I saw was that everybody knows that Jeff Gordon was running Ford at the time, and then he went to Chevy and Rick Hendrick. But so the rumor, I think it was, I don't know if it was Ray Abraham or who put this one out there a few years ago, is that they were going to go to Jack Roush. They were going to go. Jeff Gordon could have went to Roush, but Jeff Gordon demanded that Ray Abraham be his crew chief. And Jack Roush would not let a driver, especially a rookie driver, tell him who his crew chief was going to be. And so what could have been.
Yeah, I mean, we could have had a whole new timeline history. Maybe we need to get Doc Brown and Marty McFly to go back and see if they can change that.
Yeah, so it's interesting to hear some of these stories about, change of fates or how things shook out. So anyway, and number 1 of our list is 1987 World of Outlaws, Jeff Gordon, number 52. This is Jeff Gordon's first card. This was available as a factory set. Again, we talk about it in our show 40, where his little 16-year-old Jeff Gordon with this little wispy mustache there. So
yeah, that's a white bordered card, and those cards are always pretty much well centered, and they grade very well. So if you get some of those and submit them, you have, I would say, a very good chance of getting a PSA 10.
Yeah, they grade pretty good, like you said. So they're starting to dry up, or I can't remember what the sets are going for. I think the 1988s you can get like 3 for $100 or like $30 something a piece, and I think the 87s are kind of drying up. But then we have a few of our honorable mentions. I know we're already running late, but is there anything in particular one you wanna? I know I have a few.
Oh, I got one I want to talk about.
Okay.
1999 Press Pass. Skid marks, number 1, Jeff Gordon.
Okay. Keeping the streak alive, huh?
Keeping the streak alive. Yep. That's a cool card. I mean, it's got the tire dust embedded in the ink on the card. It's a cool card. So there you go. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Now I've got a few that I think if you're listening to the show and you take some notes, that these pop up, but because of time, people have forgotten about these and how rare they are. So I'm going to break it down quickly. 1995 Optima XL. They had a subset in there for Jeff Gordon. Is the JGXL, and there's 4 of them, 1 to 4, and they got progressively harder to find. So number 1, if this makes any sense. So number 1 was 1 per 18 packs. There were 36 packs to a box. So you got 2 per box, basically, on average. Number 2 was 1 per 36 packs. So basically 1 per box. And then you would go to number 3. That was 1 per 216 packs. That's 2 per case. And then you got to number 4. 1 per 864 packs, or 1 per 2 cases. So the one to find is the JGXL number 4. And where am I getting these stats? These are off of the sell sheet, actually, from the 1995 Press Pass Optima XL. So I've had this in my search, and every once in a while they'll pop up, and like I said, they're super rare, but they pop up, and folks, don't know that it's, well, only 1 per 2 cases. They see what the other ones are going for or whatever. So there's an opportunity. So, and again, that's probably why everybody's listening to the show. We hopefully throw these nuggets out there to help you when you run into some of these rare cards that people have forgotten. So the cards that time forgot.
Yep. The more you know.
Another one that I really like is the 1995 Max Medallion. So, like 1994, just to recap, they had the 1 per case redemption for the 1988 Dale Earnhardt promo, numbered to 999. So in 1995, the next year, Max Medallion, they produced a puzzle of Jeff Gordon. I think it was 9 cards or 6 cards or whatever it was. But the key is they short printed puzzle piece number 4. And what you did was, once you had a complete puzzle, you could turn it in for a special 8x10 signed card of what the puzzle looked like, signed by Jeff Gordon and numbered at a 999.
Yeah, I
So,
never had much luck with those that year.
well, again, that puzzle piece, that number 4, I'm sure is only 1 per case. So, you were kind of destined to make the puzzle all but the one.
Sounds like the play that 33 Gowdy made back in the
Yep.
day.
That's what it reminds me of as well. So I was able to find that 8x10 signed Jeff Gordon, I think, for, $20-$30. So I'm still looking for the puzzle piece number 4, but they're out there. And then another one real quick is the 1997 Scoreboard Racing IQ Jeff Gordon card set. And so there was 5 cards in this, and you could redeem the 5 card set for a collector's plaque autographed by Jeff Gordon. There was only 300 available. So the card number 5 is the really hard one. That's in 1,200 packs. So that's the 1997 Scoreboard Racing IQ Jeff Gordon card set. And again, it's card number 5 is the really tough one.
Yeah, I got a couple more here that I'm going to talk about really, really quick. One of them is the 1999 Upper Deck Road to the Cup Tires of Daytona autographed card number TS1. This is Jeff Gordon's very first autograph memorabilia card, and it's only out of 24. So imagine trying to find that bad boy. Good luck, but it's still a cool card. That, like I said, especially since it's his first auto mem card. Another one, kind of along the same lines, is 2002 Press Pass Optima Race Used Lug Nut autograph. And this would be his first Press Pass, not his first overall, but first Press Pass autograph memorabilia card. I don't know how plentiful those are. I haven't looked for one in a while, but I would think it's going to be a lot easier than the Road to the Cup Tires of Daytona card. So those are a couple cool ones to find. And one more that I really like is the 1999 Wheels High Gear Flag Chasers card of Jeff Gordon. It's a die cut card, and it has different, you can get a different flag. You can get a red flag, green flag, checker flag, blue flag, whatever, yellow flag. They have all the different flavors of flags with those. But if you ever look at one of those, they're really, really neat because they're just very colorful, and they have all the flags off the side and a picture of Jeff Gordon in the middle. It's really a really, really nifty card to find. And one more that I want to mention too is the 1995 Zenith Helmets, number 3, Jeff Gordon. Of course, they had helmets for different drivers, Ricky Rudd and Dale Earnhardt and, a bunch of different drivers. But the Jeff Gordon, because of the rainbow and all that, it's a beautiful, beautiful card. And shout out to my buddy Joe at I Didn't Buy These. He collects those, and I saw his, and when I saw that, I thought, man, that's just an absolutely stunning card.
Lots of Jeff Gordon cards again in that whole time frame. Jeff Gordon was doing great in that whole rivalry between him and Dale Earnhardt Sr. and propelled both of them. And there are a lot of inserts, autographs, great things to chase for Jeff Gordon.
Yeah. One more real quick is his first hologram card. And of course, it's going to be an Upper Deck. Is the 1995 Upper Deck SP Speed Merchants hologram number SM24. And we've all seen those cards. Those are really neat cards. They're holograms. I remember back in the day trying to chase all those. Of course, now you can get them. They're reasonably priced, but back in the day they were highly sought after and kind of tough to get. So I think that's all I got that I think time's going to allow for us to do.
I got one more just to give an example.
All right.
Because there are a lot of Jeff Gordon stuff and autographs and stuff. And so one of the ones that I like is also the 1994 High Gear. That's serial numbered, hand numbered up to, I think, 1,500. And one of them just closed the other day for $6.39. So that's a, real Jeff Gordon autograph. I think it's got the Wheels Crimp logo into it as well that they did in the highest. And so that came from Series 1. Series 2 was Mark Martin. But so you can get a Jeff Gordon auto for, under $20 if you do some digging.
Wow. That was a steal.
Yep.
Congrats, whoever got that.
So I noticed from one of the groups, somebody was asking about grading and getting cards graded and getting racing cards graded. So I thought that would be something to talk about, especially with the PSA Hall of Famer here on the show. I've done a little bit of grading myself, but just in case folks are interested in that, right now might not be the best time to get grading. If you have a very expensive card, of course, it would be, but if it's NASCAR, it's probably cost prohibitive to get stuff graded right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, PSA right now, they've got some online limited events that they're doing for, I think it's economy at $50. So that's going to be the lowest you're going to get. I'm hoping that they will get down to under 20. I'm hoping that they actually get down to 15 before the end of the year. From what I've heard from Kevin Lenane, I think that's going to happen. So everybody stay tuned. So as far as when the prices come down and you guys are ready to submit cards, I'll tell you a little bit about my experience and how I kind of handle these submissions. First of all, you're going to need to join the PSA Collectors Club if you want to self-submit your own cards. And I don't know how much that is now. I haven't looked lately because I've had my membership for a long time, and with COVID, it keeps getting extended. So I haven't had to pay for it in a while. I think I'll probably have to renew it at the National. But yeah, if you want to self-submit, you're going to have to join the club. And there's a lot of benefits to the club. There's going to be even more, according to what I heard Kevin say the other day. So they're going to really make this Collectors Club membership something to really have, and something that's going to be, worth the money that you're going to spend. So anyway, let's get into it real quick. The first thing that you're going to have is you're going to have some card saver ones to use to put your cards in to submit to PSA. They don't like or don't want you to use any other kind of holders or anything other than the card saver ones, because it's a flexible pouch. It's easy for the graders to grab and pull the card out. It's not like a top loader where sometimes they get stuck and you're trying to, fist bump and make them come out, and sometimes they might slide out and hit the floor. So they don't want that. So that's the reason that they want you to use card saver ones. So yeah, you got to have card saver ones.
One thing right there. Yeah, so they don't want you to use like a penny sleeve and put it in a top loader because it'll rattle around. But they do want it in the card saver one. But I did see a video where the grader actually cut the ends off. So basically, they could open up the card saver one uh, and pull it out without having to pull it out of the top out of the mouth. So because people always ask, well, what do they do with all those extra card saver ones? Well, I think they get destroyed during the process, but
Yeah, I guess they get recycled and made into park benches. I don't know.
maybe. But continue. Sorry.
Oh, no worries, man. Just let me know if you want to, just jump in anytime. All right. So after you have your card, I mean, you've already examined it. You want to get it graded. You put it in the card saver one. Then you're going to go online, and all the submission forms now are online. It used to be back in the day, they had the paper forms and you had to fill them out. Well, they want you to do everything now online because that saves them time of having to type everything in once they get it. So now all they have to do is just verify what you're sending. So you'll go in and you'll have to pick whatever submission type you want. They have various submission types. They've got just grading the card, or authenticating the card, or authenticating the auto and grading the card. I mean, there are a myriad of different combinations of how you want to get it graded depending on what kind of card you got. So you'll pick that. You'll go in and enter your cards in there, and like I said, submit your grading level. But after you've entered your cards in there, the next step that you need to do is you'll have all your cards stacked up, of course, with the card savers. What PSA likes you to do is to cut out a couple pieces of cardboard that's probably just a little bit bigger than the size of the card saver, and have one on the top and one on the bottom. Get you some rubber bands and you secure them that way. And then after you've got them secured, what I like to do is I'll take them and I will put either some bubble wrap around them, or some other packaging to keep them from moving around, and then I'll put them in a really huge box. I like the box to have plenty of room. I like to be able to pack it to where the things don't shift around. And of course, you're going to have to print out your submission form and put that in there with your cards. And the big thing for me is once you have everything in a box, because sometimes what I like to do is I'll put a box in a box, because we all know that things can get damaged going through UPS or the postal service or FedEx or whoever you send it with. They recommend the postal service. But once I do that and I've got them in a box, I like to use that brown tape that's water activated, that you can tape up the box with completely, like for registered mail, because that way when you do that, it's kind of like tamper resistant. You can't cut it and retape it with something, because you can see that. So that's kind of a security thing that I like to do with every single package that I send, because in the past I used to not do that. I just used clear tape with a box, and I had one submission one time that I had 3 subs in there. It got there and there was only 2 in the box. So I highly recommend using that brown water activated tape and cover the whole box like you would do for a registered mail. And I still, they say you can send them second day or however you want to send them, but I still send every one of my packages to PSA registered mail. And if you're going to send registered, you have to use the brown tape and all that. But that way, somebody has to handle it every step of the way. Especially after the fiasco I had with losing a sub, in the mail. Somebody somewhere cut my box open and took that. So I highly recommend doing that. And of course, then you just mail it off to PSA at that point. And one of the things that they are doing these days that I like is when you print out your submission form and put it in the box, you can also print out a label that you can put on your box, that when PSA gets it, they can scan it and they know automatically, okay, this is submission, whatever. And it just goes into their database and it's ready to go. It's real quick for them. So I do like that feature, that what they've done now. So after you print out your submission form, print out one of those barcode scans for your box and put it on your box. But that's, in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. The big thing is just to join the Collectors Club. Now, there are other group submitters out there, and there's a lot of reputable ones. I mean, we all have probably heard of the Mark's Card incident, which was a group submitter, which is making PSA change the way they do group subs now. But for the most part, all of them are reputable. I mean, I've used a few in the past myself. So if you don't want to join the Collectors Club, you can always go that route.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to add is, if you're not a PSA person, but, the SGC, Beckett, and PSA, those three are kind of the bigger brands of grading. They all kind of are industry standard. I also use that water activated tape for my seams and stuff. I'll send it priority mail with tracking or with delivery confirmation, but then on the seams or where the edges of the box or whatever, I'll use that water tape, activated tape, to seal that in, and basically, like you say, create a tamper resistant type seal. And I do like with the bar scan that when you print your submission, you're usually, that helps if you have multiple submissions, and say you have a collector's club, or back in the day you had a collector's club, and then you're doing like a bulk or a monthly special, that the scan would be off of the quickest turnaround, so it would be off the collector's club or whatever it is, so it got your box opened and cataloged sooner than if it was just like a monthly special. In the collector's club, in the past, they had specials per month for different things. I don't know when that comes back, but baseball cards or whatever it is, from certain years to certain years, and also autograph specials. And then also, they also grade and authenticate autographs. And as a NASCAR autograph collector or seeker, this is one of the things that I do, not necessarily the resell, but basically, if I ever want to sell or whatever in the future, that again, it's just a third party opinion, but that whatever it is that was signed is kind of authentic. So
Yeah, and adding on that, I mean, they also authenticate tickets. They also do authenticate like Type 1 photographs and things as well. So there's a lot of things that you can get done by PSA and have them authenticated. And like what Val and I do, things we like to get our autographs encapsulated. It, it tells the any sellers that we might sell them to that it's authentic, but B, it also protects the cards. And that's just to me is just as important as anything else.
yeah, I think it's a value added service, and not they do a good job, and like I said, with the encapsulation and other things, as well as the set registry and other things using PSA. Beckett, I think, has that as well. So I think if you stick to one of those three, you're good. And what I usually do is, if I'm going to grade, I'll make a few passes over them, but I will put them in a penny sleeve, and also slit the edges of the penny sleeve so that when you slide it in, it goes in really well. And then put that in the card saver one. I'll put that in as a stack. I'll look under it under either a 10 or a 30 time magnifying glass at the corners, and then kind of separate them in, okay, this is maybe a 10 or this is a 9 or whatever it is. And then I'll let it sit, and then I'll come back to it, fresh eyes, new perspective or whatever, and then go through them again just to double check, because you don't want to pay for the grading service, especially now at the price, that you want to make sure that you take the time to double, triple check that the cards don't have any blemishes or whatever it is, unless you don't care and you just want it encapsulated. There's cases for that too. Doesn't matter what it comes back, you just want it. There may be something so rare or whatever it is that it doesn't matter. So
Yeah, I hope that helps. I mean, if any of you guys out there have any questions or need any advice or want any more information, please feel free to ping us on Twitter, or send us an email, or however you want to contact us. We'll be happy to help you guys, and give you any advice or answer any questions that you got.
yeah, so if you're a NASCAR or F1 or whatever it is, please reach out and let us know. I think I started submitting back in late 2000s. So I know Logan's been submitting for a long time as well.
Yeah, my first submission was, and I was a complete newbie. I had no clue what I was doing back in 2005. I went to the national and I told my son, I said, hey, I'm thinking about submitting some cards to PSA. And he's like, why would you do that? And blah, blah, blah. But I did make my first submission. I joined the collectors club and I had I think it was 12 submissions you could sub at the national. So I did that. I was lucky enough to get 110, but overall, I didn't know what to look for. I noticed, later on that, my cards weren't centered, and that was a big thing. And, there was just a lot of things to look for when you submit a card. So, like I said, hit us up. We're here to help and more than happy to help.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you, like I said, get a loop or magnifying glass 10 or 30 times. Also, I hear that PSA uses it, but I don't use a black light to see, for scratches and other stuff. And also if anything's been like recolored in, again, getting a PSA 10 is hard, and there's a reason for that. So,
Yep, exactly.
And the centering, there's all kinds of, and then PSA has different examples of stuff. And one person once told me, or I read on the PSA message boards, there's a lot of good information out there as well, but that if you're interested in something or a certain set, maybe buy a few, like a 9 or a 10 or a 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, and then look at those different ones and see what the differences are, and you can kind of tell what PSA is looking for to kind of give you an idea before you spend a lot of money in grading fees, especially now. I mean, when we started, I think it was $5 or $6 for bulk. And now I think the last one I had done was like $11 for bulk. So
yeah, and we're hoping that it gets somewhere close to that before it's all said and done. I know that that's a priority with PSA because they're, as you said before, Val, the PSA set registry is their secret sauce to keep people grading things and grading more obscure things to compete in the registry. So in order for that to happen, they're gonna have to have some lower prices.
yeah, definitely. Otherwise, they'll start losing collectors. So,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you want to check them out, go to psacard.com and you can start there. And like I said, we're here to help.
yeah, if you're interested in SGC or Beckett or anything like that, we're not just totally PSA. So until they are sponsoring the show, we're equal opportunity graders. So
I'm going to ask Steve Sloan if he'll sponsor the show.
there you go. So, and then I think our last segment at eBay, I know we're past the hour mark. No surprise. That's what we get when Jason leaves us two alone. So,
yep. All right. So eBay.
You want me to start?
Yeah, start with that 1983 card we were talking about.
Yeah, so we had talked or covered about a 1983 Uno Dale Earnhardt Sr. SGC 88 by Probstein. Well, it's back for whatever reason. So that auction is back live again. So we will see. I don't know what the deal was with the first auction, but so I don't know, either beware or maybe you can get a good deal. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very hard card to find. I think the price it went for was what, $1,300?
No, that was 580 something, I think.
Okay, I'm
It's an
thinking
88.
the wrong thing.
You're thinking of PSA 9, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about. So yeah, you can't go wrong with that card. So check it out. All right. Some of the other things I've got, they all ended on the 8th of February, and these are all Jimmy Johnson cards. And they were lots. And I thought about bidding on these, and honestly, I forgot. Life got in the way, and I just freaking forgot about it. But anyway, I said 8th. Actually, it's the 7th. My bad. Anyway, these there were 3 different lots. The first lot was 2000 SP Authentic Performance cards out of 2000, Jimmy Johnson, and it's his rookie card. There was a lot of 6 of those, and it went for $179.49 with 18 bids. Now, we've talked about these cards, I think, before. They're hard to find. and they only made 2,000 of them. They're numbered, and it's got Jimmy Johnson standing up. I think it's got kind of like a bluish background, but those cards to me are kind of reminiscent of maybe a numbered Tom Brady rookie card. They're kind of cool. So whoever got these, I think they actually got a good price. I mean, what do you think about that, Val?
No, I definitely think, that because of the 2000 SP, right? And Tom Brady's rookie is 2000 SP, even though the Tom Brady is numbered to like 1250 or something like that. But to your point, I've opened in the last, I don't know, 5, 8 years, I think 2 of these 2000 SP boxes, and I have never gotten one of these performance numbered out of 2000. The other lot that was there was the card number 39, and that's kind of, you get one or two per SP hobby box, but the numbered one is more of a short print. So for $179, I think for the six, I think you're right. Looking back, we're talking about seven time here, and for a rare card, because we had talked about on the Jimmy Johnson show that we did that, everybody kind of thinks of the card number 39 as his rookie because the other one is, or I guess whatever, I can't remember what the card number is, but that lower number is more readily available, and so people just assume that's a rookie card. The other one is more rare, and not everybody gets to see that. So I guess they don't realize that that's a
Yep.
short print and a rookie card.
Yep. So, I generally think those cards are at least $50 cards. So times six, I mean, what is that? That's
300.
$300. So 179.49 is, I think they did well.
Yeah, and then these are ungraded, so depending on the corners on the stuff, it could be a multiplier if they get some good grades. So
Exactly. Because if I bought those, I would definitely send them all in for grading. The other lot from the same seller was 2000 Upper Deck SP Authentic, just the regular SP Authentic Jimmy Johnson card number 39. There was a lot of 9 of those, and they went for $152.50 with 31 bids. So again, I don't think that was a bad price. I think it was probably about the right price for those, but you can't go wrong with Jimmy Johnson. I think he's very underrated right now. And I think over time, I know a lot of people, had sour grapes with him with winning all the championships and things and tying Earnhardt and Petty and all that. So, but I think as time goes on, I think you're going to find out that there's going to be a greater appreciation for him and, getting in. I'm not going to say this is early, but it's still, in my opinion, kind of early. So I think you're going to do well. The other lot from the same seller, they had 3 lots, was 2000 Max Racing Jimmy Johnson number 38. And there was a lot of 7 of those, and they went for $89 with 10 bids. So somebody got a really good deal on that, I think, because I know those cards are going to go for more than that. I mean, that's what, about $12 or so, $13 a card. That's a good price. And I looked at those; they looked like they were in good shape. So I think somebody got a good deal on that one. What do you think about that, Val?
no, I would agree with that because going back to the 2000 lower number, those were about $17 a piece for the lot of 9, and then the 2000 other Jimmy Johnsons, like you said, I think he was dominating so long, and a lot of people kind of soured on him. But as time goes on, and people kind of realize what he's accomplished, he's in a whole nother boat from everybody other than Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt Sr. So when you look at championships and being in 2000, that was the last year for Upper Deck, because then it went to pretty much press pass and wheels.
Yep.
That these are tough, and you don't see these wax boxes. It's not like, if you wanted wax boxes of 2000 SP Authentic for Tom Brady, you can find them. They had them at the National for a few thousand or hundreds of dollars a piece. I have not seen any 2000 SP Authentic racing wax boxes.
Mm-mm.
So you're not to get a group of 6 of these short prints. Like I said, I've opened 2 boxes. I didn't get any. To have 6 in one lot or 9 of the other ones. I told you got 1 or 2 a box. So there's quite a bit of a cluster right there to get that, economies of scale or whatever to get them at a good deal, and then either to break them up or grade or whatever. So I think
Mhm.
there's good. Yeah. I mean, think about it. If you're trying to buy up 6 or 9 of these individually and then shipping on each one of them, it'll definitely be more than what they paid. So
Absolutely. And this will all be good until Ty freaking Gibbs wins 8 championships.
yeah.
um, Something else I saw out there. This also closed on the 7th of February, 2009. Sports Illustrated SI for Kids. Lewis Hamilton rookie card, number 360. There was a lot of 5 of these cards. You just don't see these cards. I mean, they're out there, but you just don't see them. A lot of 5 went for $1,487.01 with
Wow.
38 bids. My gosh, that is unreal for 5 cards from Sports Illustrated for Kids.
That's good money for those.
Man, that is. And in the same breath, there were 2015 Sports Illustrated SI for Kids Lewis Hamilton. They say rookie card, but that's really not his rookie card. But there was a lot of 2 of those that went for $113.50 just for 2 of those with 24 bids. So the Lewis Hamilton market is still red hot.
And it's getting ready to heat up again.
Yeah, here in when they start March.
Yeah. Yep.
Start next month. Yeah, it's going to heat up again. Some of the other things I saw out there, there was a 1972 STP card. That's all the description said, but I didn't have to look it up. It was Charging Charlie Glotzback, and it sold. It would look like it was in really good shape. It had gloss, and the corners looked fairly good. It sold for $112.50 with 5 bids. So I think that was actually a pretty good deal for the STP cards these days. I
Yeah.
think you can buy them in that $100 to $125 range raw for just the the regular cards, not not the Petty or the Allison or the Lorenzens and things like that. But the other cards, if you can get them for that kind of price, I think it's a good deal. And if I'm going to get an STP card, if I get one, it's definitely going to PSA.
Yeah, especially if they're in good shape, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Yep.
Go
ahead.
Oh, there's one thing, Val. I don't know if you saw it or not. I definitely didn't see it. I think it must have gone really quick since it was a buy it now. It said the description said super rare 1989 Winter Circle Maurice Petty card binders.
I did see them. They're empty binders.
Yeah, for $150, buy it now.
And they're sold?
They sold. If
Wow.
I had saw that, I might have tried to buy it because I've got we both have some Winter Circle cards. It'd be nice to put some in a binder and have that in a binder. I thought that would be really neat. So that was just an oddball thing that I saw that if I had seen it, I might have clicked on that.
One that I've seen was, and again, you have to caution because I realize this is a Probstein auction here, but it was a 1988 Dale Earnhardt promo PSA 10 pack fresh. It closed on February 7th with 47 bids for $1,381.96.
Oh yeah, that's in my list. I've got that.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. So there was also another one from Medallion that sold on the 9th that went for $1,400. Buy it now. So that price is right in line with that. Very similar. All right. A couple other things, and we're going to let you guys go. I saw a Jimmy Johnson. It says here's the description: 7-time champ on card, number 2 of 5 autograph, green foil. I remember when they were handing those out at the National. $51 and 2 bids. All right, whoever out there got that, you did damn good because that's a great deal. So kudos to you. So that was a good deal. And something else I saw too was on the 3rd, Kyle Larson 2013 Rising Stars serial number 73 out of 125. This is out of total memorabilia. Oh my gosh, I don't have the price on here. Trust me, it sold. I thought it was a good price. My bad. I guess in my haste to grab information, I missed that. Unless Val, while I'm talking, can look it up.
I can look it up.
Kyle Larson, 2013 Rising Stars. Something else that I saw too was on the 8th, a 2021 Panini Prism Haley Deegan Color Blast card sold for $800. It was best offer accepted. I think that they were wanting $1,000 or something like that for that card, but it sold for an $800 best offer accepted. So Haley Deegan is still on fire.
The Kyle Larson that sold February 3rd was $150.
Yep.
Buy it now.
Yep. And that's one of those autographs that Kyle Larson that it's kind of like a cut autograph. You know, it's in a little frame, kind of like the cut autographs we see now. So it's a little bit different. And I like that card a lot. I wish I had one, but I think whoever bought that did good because I think Kyle Larson going forward is, he's going to win multiple championships. He's not done yet. As long as he's got the equipment underneath of him, he's going to keep winning. And we may see a repeat this coming year of what we saw last year.
Yeah, he might repeat.
And I think for now, that's all I got.
Okay.
Have you got anything?
No. I think we're running over here again. So
again, yeah, my gosh, we apologize, guys. We try to keep the thing. There's just so much going on and so much to talk about that it just seems like we keep running over. But look at it this way: you're getting good information from us.
Definitely. So we'll try to tail it down a little bit here.
Yeah, we will.
But we appreciate everybody listening. Please like and share the podcast. Again, like to thank our sponsors, Panini America, and our Olympic sponsors, Sandy Bay Billiards Club and Mama's Coffee House. Please like and share the podcast and share NASCAR trading cards with your friends. We appreciate you spending some time with us this week, and we will see you next week.